Hey guys, here's some pictures of the painting process my friend Marty did. It's candy apple red. So first pictures, he's just filling little holes and sanding and that sort of thing, and he primered it. And then to do a candy color, you have to have a base color, which in this case is gold. And then after the gold, he shoots the clear red on the top of that. And yeah, there you go. It's looking good. Hey guys, back with another video. Just wanted to show you my stock. I just got it back finally. It's all painted up red, just like my other ones. I got two matching stocks. The only difference is this one's a heavy stock. The other one's a light gun stock. So this is for my heavy gun, but it's right on the borderline. So I can actually shoot it in light gun and heavy gun with the new rules. The new rules are light gun can be up to 22.5 pounds. So I built this gun, this stock and rifle in action. The action's actually over getting chambered with the new PRCW 7 PRCW chamber. So I'm going to pick that up today. So I'll be able to show you a complete rifle finally. And so I've been working on all this stuff over the last few weeks and finally got this baby back. It's just perfect. I mean, candy apple red, just, man, you take it out in the sunshine and it just sparkles. You know, I'm trying to do a few pictures out there, but for whatever reason my camera's not good enough to pick up the sparkle. It just kind of washes all out red. It doesn't really doesn't do it justice, in other words. But it's a good job. It looks good, just like my other one. I'm happy with it. My friend Marty over at In-Depth Creations in Graham, Washington, he painted it for me. So good job, Marty. And it's all ready to rock. And I might add some lettering to it later, but for now I'm happy with it just like it is. So I don't know if I'll ever do the lettering or not, but right now it's ready to go. And I don't know if I can show you guys the bedding job inside there. If you look inside, I did it with Marine Tack. You gotta, of course, if you've got a good CNC machine, you can router this out nice and clean, and along with the whole barrel chamber, because when I got this stock, it was a flat top stock, so I had to router this whole thing out, get it to fit the barrel. In other words, the right size chuck in there to match the barrel. But then you got to also carve down in all these down in here, so you got room to pot your action into it, and then cut real nice down inside there. That's where a friend of mine's got all those machines, and he helped me do that. We pillar bedded all the bolts, so they're in there nice and solid. Got a nice steel case for them to slide through, so they're not just crushing against fiberglass or something. So anyway, that's the way all that's done. So your trigger slides right down through. It's got a real nice recoil lug encessment there that it'll sit right down in there. The recoil lug will, nice and tight, perfect fit. So once you set all that down there and squish it down there, it forms to itself, and you clean off the edges around the outside, and voila, you got yourself a nice rifle stock. So it's a lot of work. You know, it takes about a week to get all that done, you know, one step a day, and waiting for things to cure and all that, and making all the little, you know, parts to be just the right height and all that kind of stuff, all the pillars inside there. And yeah, you got all of your little cutouts that you have to look out for to make sure they're lining up with your stock and everything, so it's recessed in there just perfect. So yeah, a lot of work to doing these stocks. The guys get a lot of money for doing them, but the guys that know what they're doing and can do them good and get everything straight and true, sitting down inside there all bedded really nice. I mean, your action, I've had this argument with some guys out there in the past where they think a little bit of rocking in there is okay if you just, you know, tighten down your screws real tight, you know, it pulls it down tight. Well, what you're doing is, when you do it that way, you're kind of bending your action and then you're putting your action out of true by not having it flat and perfect inside. So if it's rocking around in there and you're just cranking the screws down, calling it good, you're not really doing yourself any favors. Let's put it that way. So getting a good bedding job is a key. And then for me, I don't want to glue any actions in. A lot of guys just swear by gluing their actions in. They gotta have them glued in, and I guess that's true. It's probably the most safest way to do it, but I don't like them glued in. I like to be able to take my action and barrel off every time, just to change my barrels and to clean my rifle and everything, where I'm not beating up this pretty new stock with cleaning rods and all the chemicals and all the stuff that go through the barrel to get it clean, dripping all over your brand new paint job. And I don't expect a paint job to last too long if you're doing that kind of stuff to it. I mean, it might last a long time, but it's probably not going to look very well. So I try to keep everything as nice as I can. So me being able to take everything out is good. Now I don't see any downside to that. Other guys say, oh yeah, there's too loose, and you lose your accuracy and all that kind of thing. Well, I beg to differ. I think if you've got if you got a good bedding job and you've got them all torqued down, and you torque it down the exact same every single time with the exact same tool every single time, it repeats. I've heard guys say over and over and over again, oh, if you take the barrel off and if you take the action off and your stock apart and blah blah blah. I do that every time I shoot. And the next time I go out and shoot, it's shooting right where it was before. So don't listen to all the wise tales. There's a lot of wise tales out there that just aren't true. I mean, I guess if you don't have good equipment, you don't have a good bedding job, and you don't have a good torque wrench, everything to get everything right back to where it was, yeah, I imagine it probably will shoot a little different. But in today's world, with good bedding jobs and good torque wrenches and just making sure everything's nice and clean and straight when you put it in there and taking a little extra care, I haven't had any problems. They all shoot good every single time I go out. So I don't know. I've had guys right at the range tell me if I take it all apart and come back tomorrow, it's not going to shoot the same. It's going to shoot different. I don't know. I've been doing it for 3 years now, and they all shoot just fine every time. But that being said, don't forget to tighten up your screws or something silly, Heard old man, he was complaining. He said, oh yeah, one time I got down there and I was shooting halfway through the match and the screws came loose. I never did that again. I made sure I glued everything in. I thought, well, okay, if you'd have just tightened those things back down, you'd probably been fine. But guys want to go to the next extreme, I guess. But that's all right. Like I said, I torque them down every time I shoot them. Take it apart, clean it, put it back together, and away you go. So I don't need to glue it in. But I suppose you could eliminate one potential problem if you forgot to tighten those screws down, but I don't know who would put their action and not put the screws back in. But I suppose there's somebody out there that might forget that. But I haven't forgot that thing. I've forgot lots of other things, but not that. So everything seems to work fine. These recoil lugs, the way they're set down in there and the way they're so perfectly held, man, there's just no room for slop or air. So if it's recoil lug set down in that little slot there, it's just perfect. There's just no way for it to move forward, back, anywhere. It's just form fit right in there. The recoil lug, the screws don't even have to be tightened down that tight. The way it's all bedded in here perfectly. So as long as it's enough to hold it, then that's good. I torque mine about 50 inch-pounds, just suck it down in. I don't want to be crushing the stock or anything silly like that, but that's what I torque mine to, 50 inch-pounds, and it works great. So anyway, this is my new build coming up. I told you I wanted starting on my PRCW. This is the first part of it. I've got my stock back. Later today I'm going to go get my action barrel. It's all chambered with my dies. They're going to be all here, and so I'm getting going. And so I'll have quite a few videos coming up showing you the step-by-step process that I go through in developing a new chamber, I guess. So I've got everything kind of just barely started. So yeah, I'll show you along the way what I'm doing. Thanks.